Dora. Alfred Lord Tennyson with Farmer Allen. At the farm abode William and Dora. William was his son, and she his niece. He often looked at them, and often thought, I'll make them man and wife. Now Dora felt her uncle's will and all, and yearned toward William. But the youth, because he had been always with her in the house, thought not of Dora. Then there came a day when Allen called his son, and said, My son, I married late, but I would wish to see my grandchild on my knees before I die, and I have set my heart upon a match. Now therefore look to Dora. She is well to look to. Thrifty too beyond her age. She is my brother's daughter. He and I had once hard words, and parted, and he died in foreign lands. But for his sake I bred his daughter Dora. Take her for your wife. For I have wished thee this marriage, night and day, for many years. But William answered short. I cannot marry Dora. By my life, I will not marry Dora. Then the old man was wroth, and doubled up his hands, and said, You will not, boy? You dare to answer thus? But in my time a father's word was law, and so it shall be now for me. Look to it. Consider, William, take a month to think, and let me have an answer to my wish. Or, by the Lord that made me, you shall pack, and never more darken my doors again. But William answered madly, bit his lips, and broke away. The more he looked at her the less he liked her, and his ways were harsh. But Dora bore them meekly. Then before the month was out he left his father's house, and hired himself to work within the fields. And half in love, half spite, he wooed in widow laborer's daughter, Mary Morrison. Then, when the bells were ringing, Allen called his niece and said, My girl, I love you well. But if you speak with him that was my son, or change a word with her he calls his wife, my home is none of yours. My will is law. And Dora promised, being meek. She thought, it cannot be, my uncle's mind will change. And days went on, and there was born a boy to William. Then distresses came on him. And day by day he passed his father's gate, heartbroken, and his father helped him not. But Dora stored what little she could save, and sent it them by stealth, nor did they know who sent it. Till at last a fever seized on William, and in harvest time he died. Then Dora went to Mary. Mary sat and looked with tears upon her boy, and thought hard things of Dora. Dora came and said, I have obeyed my uncle until now, and I have sinned for it was all through me this evil came on William at the first. But, Mary, for the sake of him that's gone, and for your sake, the woman that he chose, and for this orphan, I am come to you. You know there has not been for these 5 years so full a harvest. Let me take the boy, and I will set him in my uncle's eye among the wheat, that when his heart is glad of the full harvest, he may see the boy, and bless him for the sake of him that's gone. And Dora took the child, and went her way across the wheat, and sat upon a mound that was unsown, where many poppies grew. Far off the farmer came into the field and spied her not. For none of all his men dare tell him Dora waited with the child. And Dora would have risen and gone to him, but her heart failed her. And the reapers reaped and the sun fell, and all the land was dark. But when the morrow came, she rose and took the child once more, and sat upon the mound, and made a little wreath of all the flowers that grew about, and tied it round his hat to make him pleasing in her uncle's eye. Then when the farmer passed into the field he spied her, and he left his men at work, and came and said, Where were you yesterday? Whose child is that? What are you doing here? So Dora cast her eyes upon the ground, and answered softly, This is William's child. And did I not, said Allen, did I not forbid you, Dora? Dora said again, Do with me as you will, but take the child, and bless him for the sake of him that's gone. And Allen said, I see it is a trick got up betwixt you and the woman there. I must be taught my duty, and by you. You knew my word was law, and yet you dared to slight it. Well, for I will take the boy. But go you hence, and never see me more. So saying, he took the boy that cried aloud and struggled hard. The wreath of flowers fell at Dora's feet. She bowed upon her hands, and the boy's cry came to her from the field, more and more distant. She bowed down her head, remembering the clay when first she came, and all the things that had been. She howled down and wept in secret. And the reapers reaped, and the sun fell, and all the land was dark. Then Dora went to Mary's house, and stood upon the threshold. Mary saw the boy was not with Dora. She broke out in praise to God, that helped her in her widowhood. And Dora said, "My uncle took the boy, but, Mary, let me live and work with you. He says that he will never see me more." Then answered Mary, "This shall never be, that thou shouldest take my trouble on thyself, and, now I think, he shall not have the boy, for he will teach him hardness, and to slight his mother. Therefore thou and I will go, and I will have my boy, and bring him home. And I will beg of him to take thee back, but if he will not take thee back again, then thou and I will live within one house, and work for William's child, until he grows of age to help us." So the women kissed each other, and set out, and reached the farm. The door was off the latch. They peeped and saw the boy set up betwixt his grandsire's knees, who thrust him in the hollows of his arm, and clapped him on the hands and on the cheeks, like one that loved him. And the lad stretched out and babbled for the golden seal, that hung from Ellen's watch, and sparkled by the fire. Then they came in, but when the boy beheld his mother, he cried out to come to her now and set him down, and Mary said, "O Father, if you let me call you so, I never carn a begging for myself, or William, or this child. But now I come for Dora, take her hack. She loves you well. O sir, when William died, he died at peace with all men. For I asked him, and he said, he could not ever rue his marrying me. I had been a patient wife, but, sir, he said that he was wrong to cross his father thus. God bless him. He said, and may he never know the troubles I have gone through. Then he turned his face and passed unhappy that I am. But now, sir, let me have my boy, for you will make him hard, and he will learn to slight his father's memory. And take Dora back, and let all this be as it was before." So Mary said, and Dora hid her face by Mary. There was silence in the room. And all at once the old man burst in sobs. "I have been to blame. I have killed my son. I have killed him, but I loved him, my dear son. May God forgive me. I have been to blame. Kiss me, my children." Then they clung about the old man's neck, and kissed him many times. And all the man was broken with remorse, and all his love came back 100-fold. And for 3 hours he sobbed o'er William's child, thinking of William. So those four abode within one house together. And as years went forward, Mary took another mate. But Dora lived unmarried till her death.